What's up, you guys? My name's James, and thank you for tuning into my channel. I'm a Scottish New Zealander. I've been living here back in the UK for the last 6 or 7 years. I've got a passion for all things technology, sports, making money, and whiskey. Today, I wanted to talk to you about sports and more specifically golf and how to get into golf as a beginner, a first timer. Because I know a lot of guys and girls who've asked me how to get into the game, and I think two of the common reasons they're asking is probably because they don't know much about it. They've never had any friends or family who have gotten into the game, so they don't know how to do it, or they have no visibility to it, or that people think it might be useful for their careers because it's often a place where business deals can be made. I've seen plenty of business deals being made on the golf course, and I think it's cool that you can combine an activity like golf, a sport, with making these types of deals. So yeah, really cool if you can do that. Why am I qualified to talk about this subject, golf, and how to get into it? Well, I've been playing the game since I was 12, so 19 years or so, I suppose. I represented New Zealand in golf when I was 13. I was a top-ranked amateur, and I turned professional when I was 23. And now I'm no longer playing golf because I sort of lost a bit of the passion of the travel and the staying in hotels and playing golf, and I wasn't quite good enough, if we're being really honest. So moving on to today's topics. So firstly, how do you get into golf? Well, golf obviously is becoming so much more popular than it used to be. There's quite a few different methods to get into the game. One of those, there's the traditional route of playing golf at a golf club, joining up as a member, or maybe going as a visitor. There's also the driving range. Anybody can go to the driving range and pay for a bucket of balls. It's an easy method for getting to bash some golf balls around the place. There's also simulators nowadays where you can pay a fee to go to a simulator. These are often in like bars and lounges even, or like company experience days, that type of thing, where you can play St Andrews golf course or any of the golf courses that are actually here in real life, and that's really cool without having to walk in between your shots. And then there's also things like Top Golf, which is really cool, and I think that's really making golf much more popular. It's a place where you can go, bring your friends with you, go and dine out, have some drinks, have some great food, have a laugh, and hit some golf balls off of a driving range style thing into these massive holes, and you get points for that type of thing as well, which is really cool. So it can be competitive as well. So what you'll need, this is maybe more tailored to someone who wants to take up golf a little bit more seriously. Maybe go to the golf course and play as a visitor, or maybe join as a member. Often to join as a member you would need something like, I don't know, joining fee, or a friend to refer you in. Typically, most golf courses aren't like this, but there is the occasional one. But what you'll need anyway to play a game of golf, for instance, firstly you need golf clubs, obviously, and I'll go into a bit more detail next about what type of golf clubs you need. You might need some golf clothes. It doesn't need to be golf clothes typically, but there is some sort of etiquette in terms of maybe a collared polo neck t-shirt for guys, typically, for girls as well. For guys, maybe dress trousers or pants, depending which country you're watching this from. Shorts as well, dress shorts. You can wear any shorts realistically, but sports shorts are maybe a bit more frowned upon, and in certain clubs things like football shorts, or maybe I don't think you wear bike shorts to the golf course either. So maybe avoid those. You'll need golf balls, or maybe golf balls if you potentially are erratic and lose them, and probably golf tees as well. Some optional extras would be things like golf shoes, give you more stability, and they're quite grippy. You might need some waterproof clothing like a jacket and waterproof trousers, maybe, depending what country you're playing the game. In the UK, obviously, that's likely that you'll need those things. A golf glove for better grip, maybe a hat, and maybe sun cream, depending where you're playing. So, back to golf clubs. What golf clubs would you need? So there's typically, in a game of golf, you have a golf bag with 14 clubs. You would have there's different categories of clubs. You've got woods, you've got irons, you've got wedges, and you've got putters. And you'd only have one putter in your bag of 14. Anyway, so woods are not wooden. They used to be. They're now typically made of some kind of metal, some lightweight metal. And these go the furthest, basically. They are the clubs you hit off the tee blocks or the tees. And they go long, they go quite far, and typically quite low, particularly if you're a beginner. Then you want to use your irons, which are obviously made of either iron or stainless steel. They are used for the shots sort of in between teeing off and hitting to the green where you would putt. So irons actually also includes wedges sometimes, and they're pretty cool. They're really good to play with. Hang on, they're really good to play with? Okay, yeah. Good one. The irons, they typically start from a 3 iron all the way up to a 9 iron, and then they turn into a pitching wedge, gap wedge, sand wedge, or lob wedge. And each of these, so the higher up you go, from 3 is the lowest number, will go the furthest, and say the 9 iron or the pitching wedge or the lob wedge will go the least distance. And that's the difference between those clubs. They've all got different angles on them, which changes how far they go. And your putter is essentially quite a flat angled club, and it's used for the green to do the roll the ball into the hole when you're on the green and on the very short grass. Now I'll talk about the grass in a second. But yeah, vital club. You need a putter, otherwise you're going to struggle on the golf course. Probably one of the most important clubs. And if you're good with your putter, you can make some really good scores. So some basics of golf then, aside from the clubs and things like that. You've got a typical golf course consists of 18 holes. Not all golf courses consist of 18 holes, but generally speaking they do. Some might be 9 holes. Other courses you'll find might have 12 holes, depending on the space they have, 13 holes and the likes. Each of these holes has a designated par, which is a score that you should get, or what the average golfer, I suppose, would get. And they typically go as either a par 3, a par 4, or a par 5. And that means it should take you that 3, 4, or 5 shots to get your ball from the starting place to in the hole. And the starting place itself is actually called a tee or a tee block. This is where you'll use your wooden tee or your plastic tee to stick the ball up and hit the woods off. And then you've got, and the tee block is cut, the grass is cut fairly short. You've also got the fairway, which is the middle section of the hole, and that's cut typically quite short as well. Then you've got the rough, which is on either side of the fairway, which is longer grass. It's more difficult to hit out of, and it's probably not where you want to be. If you can get on the fairway, then definitely do that. You've got bunkers, which is the only one that's not grass. That's made of sand. These are little sort of holes in the ground which have sand in them, and they're difficult to get out of. It's a good idea to avoid those if you can. And then you've got the green, which is the shortest grass, and the ball will roll the furthest on those greens with the least amount of effort. And this is where the hole is situated, on the green somewhere, with a flag sticking out of it. That's typically that's a really quick run through of the game of golf. Some of the sort of unspoken rules, or the golf rules and etiquette. A couple of absolute basics. If you're on the golf course, know when to be quiet and when you can speak. And some advice on that would typically be just, if someone's speaking, if someone is about to hit their shot, stop speaking and stop making any noise if you can. You don't want to put the person trying to hit the golf shot, don't put them off. And it's really that simple. It's a game of honesty. You have to be honest about how many shots you've had. Someone else typically would record your score for you, but it is a game of trust and honesty, and it's I guess that's maybe why they call it a gentleman's game, but that's a bit sexist, so I would never call it that. Honesty and knowing when to be quiet, and also actually making sure that you never get hit by someone swinging a golf club or hitting a golf ball. If someone yells 4 and it's in your direction, hold your head and duck, get behind a tree or something. So if a ball is coming, if you've hit a ball towards someone, you're expected to shout 4, F-O-R-E. And that will alert those people that you've hit a shot that's possibly coming towards them. Just typically always stand, if you're playing a game of golf with someone, always stand this side of them, because if you stand behind them, they can't see you, and if they swing back, they might clobber you one on the head. And you really do not want that. I've had it happen to me once before, and it's excruciating. So always be seen by your by golfers and whoever's playing their shots, and make sure that they know where you are, and that will help you avoid any unwanted contact with golf balls or clubs. So that's the end of this brief basic sort of run through of golf and how to get into golf, and some of the golf basics. If you've got any questions, post them down in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer those for you. And if you like this video, then please you can help me get my followers up. Give it a like and maybe even a subscribe if you fancy hearing more about any of the things that I'm going to be talking about. So thank you all. Have a good one. Catch you next time.